I'm Vahid Razavi with BizCloud. Today I get to hang out with some of my most favorite colleagues from 20 years ago. This is Exodus Founders Get Together from 1997. When I was there, I had the pleasure of meeting both Vanessa and Jennifer. Jennifer Halsey and Vanessa Tarlton worked in strategic accounts as far as I remember, but you guys were instrumental in the early part of Exodus in bringing in large accounts. Looking back on it, 20 years later, can you tell me what was the chemistry? What was it like being as a female, a woman in a tech world, working in a tech company for a guy like Sam? Can you talk about it?
That's a great question. So Jen and I started in inside sales actually in 97. And we used to cold call people, and it wasn't cloud or hosting then, right? It was co-location. And I can remember explaining to people what co-location was. People didn't even know what that was.
People didn't even know what the internet was.
No.
Really.
We used to sell T1s, but then we moved on to selling services and co-location. And then that, of course, went to hosting and then cloud as we know it today. But it's really just what, back in the day, it used to be hosting, which is now cloud. But working for Sam was always...
the whole experience was magical. I always say I had the best career experience of my entire life at the very beginning of my career. I mean, it was such an energy-infused, amazing time that I am so fortunate to have been a part of.
Same here. You know, I mean, Sam instilled a lot of great values. One of the things was he was a very competent and confident salesperson, but he had a sense of humility. And he was always humble around how he was open and his door was open. And, you know, it's really nice when we look back on things that have been built, people that have influenced my career, that have influenced your career. We were fortunate to have such great mentors. What would you instill in people that are learning from you today? What would you want them to carry away from that level of mentorship that you received, that you think would be valuable for a woman in the tech sector who is in a male-dominated field, as you're well aware, in terms of numbers? What is it that you want to instill in them?
I mean, I would say it's confidence. I mean, one of the things I learned from Sam was he used to say something, kind of a funny phrase called wear your suit. Just be who you are. Be, confident in your role and be confident in your conversations. And, Sam was all about empowering women. I mean, really in a sales role.
And, Sam would always hire people to do the job and then trust them to do it, which was really big, right? It's like he would hire you, you were on his team, and he would coach you and help you, but he wouldn't step in and do it for you, which I think is really important. And I think that's the difference between a good manager and a bad manager, right? Like if you've hired somebody to do the job, let them do it. And he was your best cheerleader. He would never throw you under the bus. If you made a mistake, he would help you. He would try and fix it.
He would always be there to defend and to support in every way.
So let me ask you, what are you beautiful ladies up to now? What's like, after the 20 years, Exodus, now that you're at the party, could you tell us where you are in your careers and how that has shaped up, and share a little bit about that, Jennifer?
So since leaving Exodus, I've been at Microsoft my entire career. So I had a great foundation working at a startup, and now I'm at a big enterprise company. Two totally different experiences, but a lot of what I learned in my early days at Exodus definitely have shaped who I am today.
That's great. And Vanessa, what would you say in terms of where you're headed with your career and where you see, both maybe on a personal life and a career life, where you see yourself, what has changed, what kind of update you want to provide to people out there?
Sure. So Exodus brought me to New York, which was exciting. I probably never would have gone there otherwise. I moved to New York to work for the Exodus office, and
you met your husband?
I met my husband there, got married, moved back to California, but I'm still in the cloud. I work for Microsoft as well, but I manage service providers like Exodus, and it's amazing because the companies I work with now, people still know Exodus. They know that Exodus built the foundation of hosting and, like I said, in cloud as it is today, and they were such leaders, and Sam Mohammed is known as a visionary.
He's a legend.
He is a legend. He is the best sales leader I've ever come across. And a lot of people, even the people that were the competition, but say that about him. People hated him, hated to go up against Sam and his
didn't
team.
want to compete against him.
No, and it's been phenomenal.
Well, as part of BizCloud, we do a lot of cloud coverage, but we actually sell and we provide customer success around cloud deployments. And we're a proud Microsoft partner. We love working with Microsoft. We see a huge potential in potentially rekindling our relationship after 20 years and figuring out how we can become even more closely involved with what you're doing. So thank you so much for this opportunity. I know there's tons of food and booze and people you haven't seen in 20 years, but thank you for giving me the chance to catch up with both of you. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Vahid.